What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. I apologize again for the delay. I am your host, Ed Honcho, and I apologize, like I said, for the delay, but I thank you for being here. I thank you guys who show up each and every night, Monday through Friday, around 9 o'clock time, so usually around in Central Time. And you know that you're a part of this conversation, which I think is the best conversation on the internet, in the world, actually, not even the internet. But again, I may be biased. But I'm glad you guys are here. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful night. I hope everybody's, I hope everything's going as well as things can be going for you during this curious time that we're all living in, especially if you are in America. If you're elsewhere, I'm pretty sure you're going through some things too, similar. So I guess we are the world, right? We all unite. But we're going to talk about something tonight because, again, it's this is the den, okay? And I was in the den Discord. I'm going to go off the path a little bit. We're going to shout out everybody. Give me just a moment. And Big M jumped in there. I was in there for a minute. And he told me something. He said that the last 6 months of the den have not been den-esque, right? Now, den folk, I want you to keep it 100, man. I want y'all to keep it 1,000. 1,010. I don't know if you can give 1,010%. I'm pretty sure you'd explode, but I want y'all to keep 1,000, man, right? Big M said that the den has been much more serious. Or maybe me, the chat is untamable. You guys are untamed, you guys are ruthless. Savages, if you will. But he said, I've been much more serious. He said, when I came in, I was making jokes about everything around whichever time last year, around this time, I guess, last year, when I first joined in. No, I've been, like you said, about the last 6 months, so I've been pretty well. Not the entire last 6 months. And I apologize for the vent that's about to start making noise here in just a second. But what I want to know is, do you guys feel the same way? Should I put up a poll, I guess, maybe? But let me know how you feel. Have I been too serious on the topics lately? And it's not even about the topics because, we talk about serious things, but we still have fun talking about them. We say things in jest. Have I been covering the topics too serious lately? Because, that's never the goal. It's always about having something to laugh at, right? You should be able to laugh at everything, even though some people get offended. But, I don't know, you'd rather see somebody laughing, dealing with their issues, and crying, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Who knows? All right. Excuse me. Let's see who we have joining us tonight in the den. And I see the lovely Miss Jess Sarah. How are you this evening, ma'am? What's the motherfucking deal to Jason S.? Glad you could join us this evening. John, my favorite New Yorker. How are you doing this evening, sir? What's the motherfucking deal? Ronald Isley. Even though you see the name in the chat, it sounds like a cat, but it is a kitten. What's the motherfucking deal, Miss or Ashley, Ronald Isley, whatever you want to call yourself? The Lady Grace, Miss K Grace. How are you this evening? What's the motherfucking deal? D the Gamma. How you doing this evening? I was gonna say Five Slam Pajama, but that's like there's nothing to do with D the Gamma. So, Dre, what's the motherfucking deal, Dre? All the way up in CA, the Canada. What's the motherfucking deal to the Don of the Discord himself, aka Mr. Coltrane? How are you this evening, sir? What's the motherfucking deal? El Lobo, the Wolf. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. And Tulio, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Candace Owens. Oh, no. I gotta. We'll get into some Candace on talk one day. It's just not my bag, baby. Yeah, just no, baby. I really can't do it. Just not my thing, baby. Hey. But hey, if you like it, baby, I love it, baby. Yeah. Let me see. Miss Bell. What's the motherfucking deal, Miss Bell? The bell is wrong. How are you doing this evening, Miss Bell? I hope all is going good. Let's see. Name my chat skip. Let me see. Knowledgeable King Judah. What's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth Cologne. What's the motherfucking deal? Quail Man. What's the motherfucking deal? Everybody, welcome to the den. Frost. What's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this evening, sir? Louis 17. You know what I'm saying? What's the motherfucking deal? The Pimp C protege. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Just make sure I ain't missing nobody. You know, if I missed you, baby, I ain't dish you. Infinity used to be a pimp. Hey, man, look, Jack, you Infinity. You can last forever. 7 minutes ain't nothing to Infinity, baby. Let's see. Barbara Ebron, what's the motherfucking deal? And let me see. Hey, look, if I miss you, Ching Jaja, he won't pass. Let's see, where? Damn, let's give it a bunch of people. Marquise, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. All right. This last time I said, if I missed you, I ain't dish you. I just missed it. Okay, I apologize, man. I'm just sorry. You know, don't be mad at me. But I want to talk about the word coon, man. That's the topic tonight, right? And the reason why I want to talk about the word coon, because, you know, that term has been levied around the internet, even around the den sometimes, you know. I've been falsely accused of coonery, and the new slang, what is it? The coonship has been activated. I don't really give a fuck about the term coon, honestly. Like, you know, you can call me a coon, whatever. I don't give a shit. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel. But I want to get into it. I want to kind of get to the root of it, and like why it's you know, it's like derogatory terms. Every race has derogatory terms. Every culture has derogatory terms. Generally for other cultures, right? This is why niggas is be tripping. This is why niggas be it all fucked up, right? I'm gonna tell you why, right? Then we have like multiple. We adopt the other people's derogatory terms for ourselves, and then we have derogatory terms for our own self, right? Because like, coon is a term that the only other people I've seen who have been honest, it's not being overly political or anything. I don't know if it's truly, honestly, white liberals. I saw there was a black reporter. I forgot who she was, but she's like working with one of them conservative. I don't know if it was Blaze or if it was something, one of them things. Anyway, and this was around the Hillary Clinton Donald Trump election. And she was interviewing a guy, something, and, you know, he called her fucking coon. He's like, oh, you know, called Uncle Tom and a coon and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, all white liberals are running around calling black people coons. They might be. I don't know. I'm just joking. But there was another instance, too. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, well, no Republicans or no conservatives have negative terms for niggas. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying only openly. Other group that I've heard use the term coon in the same reference to black people as we use it amongst each other has, you know, been white liberals. But like I say, he was accosting that lady because he said she should have been voting Democrat and she wasn't. But that's neither here nor there, right? Because the term coon, apparently, from my little brief 43 seconds of research, I think they say some of the first known references of it is in 1742. And then, you know, kind of to where we are now, but generally came from the minstrel shows that they used to do, right? And a lot of times they used to have the guys that in blackface and things of that nature. And so when the black people were portrayed as lazy, you know, stupid and trash and thieves and things like that, similar to traits to a raccoon, I guess you would say. You know, a raccoon is steal food, and you know, I guess you have that little thing. And so somehow these terms kind of overlapped, and they kind of are where you are today. But it doesn't seem, like I say, to me, it doesn't seem like white people use that one as much. That's like a self-contained insult. It doesn't have the same, like, I don't know if it has the same impact, right? Because when you're telling a black person telling another black person they're a coon, you're calling them a sellout, right? You're saying like you're selling out the whole race, like you're excommunicated, right? You're an outcast, right? You know what I'm saying? We've gotten rid of you. You know, we no longer claim. You know, you're no longer a part of whatever it is, you know, that we're trying to do. And so I think it would have more impact coming from someone saying that, you know, I guess if you are a person who takes offense to stuff. But to me, I think there's a misunderstanding about the word coon, especially in the black community. Because I notice the people who get called coon more so than others, and I see when it gets used, I see when it gets thrown around at the types of people, at the types of situations it gets thrown around. And this is where I have the problem with it, right? Like, you could say somebody's doing something that is detrimental to a group, okay? If it's truly that. But if these people are offering ideas, assistance in a way, in a manner in which they believe would be helpful, generally, I mean, you would consider it. See, there's a big factor at play when we talk about this thing, and that is, for some reason, in the black community, we're addressing most black problems, is a white man, right? And so you say, well, why? How does the white man have to do anything with cooning? Well, as everything else, the white man has ruined it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I'm talking shit. But the thing about it is, generally when they're doing things that is considered white behavior or not black behavior, then that's when the coon terminology comes along. You just kind of like, so. But my thing is this, is like, what if something that isn't generally considered black behavior, something that isn't generally considered black culture, or what black people do, is the better option though, right? Why is it a negative to present something that is a possible better option just because you may not like, maybe where it originates from? Because ultimately, it's about results, right? But for some reason, we can't do that. Like I saw the other day, people getting canceled for not wanting to agree with people going looting and riding. I saw the stupidest fucking video. I don't know if I saved it or not. If I did, I think we briefly might have mentioned it last night. I don't know if we did or didn't. But it was the one where the woman, or it was three women, and they are washing graffiti off of a building, right? Washing Black Lives Matter off of a building. And somebody in the car pulls up on them and basically tells them what they're doing is white privilege and racist by them washing graffiti off of a building. And I saw that, and my mind was baffled, right? Because I'm like, what is going on here? And the lady tried to calmly kind of explain, I guess, the best she could. And when you're trying to deal with an irrational person, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Oh, excuse me. All right. I guess I should also be doing this too. Because it doesn't really matter. But so, they continue to wash it off. But it's to the point where when you're trying to squeeze in all this little trivial shit in these issues, that's when people start jumping off the train. That's when people start getting off board, and they're like, "Come on, man! Now you're doing some bullshit, right?" So, anywho, getting back to the coon thing. So anytime it's generally considered something white, you're considered coon. If there was a guy who was a Desi Banks and some of these other entertainers basically said, "Hey, the rioting is pointless, or let's try to find a way to do things peacefully." Whatever. That's the way what they felt, right? And all of a sudden, canceled. Oh, y'all aren't agreeing with the masses of black people, you're canceled. That's what really it is. It's not even about, like, if you're not agreeing with what everybody else the fuck wants you to fucking agree with, then you're canceled. Or you're cooning. It's like, come on. I think there's ways of doing shit, like, without, look, I'm not telling you to go and be a fucking Carlton, but Carlton had money, so I mean, if it's about money, right? Or prestige, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not telling you to go and do that, but there's just certain ways that you do certain things, and there's certain ways that's appropriate to carry yourself. Another thing, real quick, that I have to side note on. I saw the most off the wall shit, and I shared some of this in the Den Discord. If you're not in the Den Discord, you're missing out. Been some great conversation there. I tapped out on y'all last night after I got my Whataburger, so I don't know what the fuck y'all were talking about. But again, like I said, all these little stupid things that they're putting in, like, I think in one of them they took it from a Black Lives Matter protest, it became a Black Trans Lives Matter protest, and then one of them you got motherfuckers strutting and basically, I mean, I'm not saying they're doing the cross-dresser happy hour at the library or some shit, and but you got motherfuckers in there and fucking niggas in boots and shit strutting around, like, what is going? This is not the time for this, right? This is not the time for attention on yourself, right? If you're making a movement, again, if you're protesting, if you're like, it's to show that you're moving in solidarity as a unit, right? Not What can I do to show my, or what can I do to draw a bunch of attention in the midst of, these crowds of tens of thousands of people, you know, and generally these things that are being done are of no benefit. Generally, it's dancing. I showed you the video with the guy and then whatever he was doing, and it just looked weird, right? And the little chick beside him, there was one big mama twerking in the middle of the road. Like, how is this aiding your cause? What are you accomplishing by doing this? Other than look at me. You guys got a little attention left? Can I get some? Yeah, I'll do something extremely foolish for it. I'll take a little bit of that. So, this is where we are. Prepaid, what's the motherfucking deal? Real talk, what's the motherfucking deal? Take a dream, what's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Rowan, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. Giant Mess, what's the motherfucking deal? So that's kind of like where I'm at. And, and I say white liberals, right? And here's my thing, even with that. Like, it's not a bad issue because I really feel that the majority do have good intentions. So that's why I can't necessarily be like mad, but I think that a matter of perspective alters it. And I think there's some other little things there, but it's like again, maybe it's a comfort thing or whatever it is. Like I said, when I was talking about the Coon terminology, that's the only other people I've ever heard use it. It's wild. So we're in a situation now where there's a lot of shit going on. Like, a change gonna come. You know what I'm saying? What Tupac said, changes. You know what I'm saying? It's happening. Something is happening. Like, I don't know if y'all notice it or not, right? And that's something I wanted to talk about. I was going to do like a solo dedicated video on it, but I'm not. I'm actually going to talk about it tonight a little bit, and then we'll put this into the conversation too. But talking about the Coon thing, it's always usually like a proper procedure. A black man is doing well for himself. A black man is, hey, you know what? I grew up in this environment. Where I'm at now, this environment no longer is suitable for what I'm accomplishing or where I'm at in life, or it may not be close to the job, whatever it is. And so niggas start doing good, nigga move up out the hood, Those niggas mad and he think he too good, or he think no, it's not that, right? It's if I can afford it, why not? If it's in a position that puts me closer to my colleagues, if it's in a position that puts me in a safer environment for my children, puts my kids in better schools, why not? Why should I have to continue to endure what I may have been born into when I have the ability to ascend so much further than that? But then you become a sellout, you become a coon. Like I said, I feel like niggas, but I feel like black people. Niggas is everywhere. Look, later I posted that video with the white dude when he was giving that speech, and he was on fire, right? He was like killing it. And then like at the end, niggas mean everybody. Every white people got niggas. They was like, oh, he started booing him and shit. I was like, damn, I'm rooting for you too, bro. But that's the black privilege right there. I can say that. Nobody cares. Nobody's booing me. It's like, everybody's got niggas. White people got niggas. Mexican niggas. Asian niggas. I've recently seen some Asian niggas. I didn't think it was a thing. I thought it was a myth, but I recently saw it. All that stuff. And again, you say it with immunity. But again, like I said, it's only when you start doing good, then it's, oh, that nigga's a coon, or he says something upstanding, or maybe this man has Christian beliefs and he stands by his beliefs. Like, it's respectable to have a code and stand by that. But if your code doesn't match my code, well, you're a bad guy. And it's not just in the black community. We can talk about politics and a lot of these other things. It's, hey, if I don't agree with you, you're stupid, you're an idiot. I was talking about this, I think, in the Discord the other day, when I was just saying, like, it's hard for me to call some of these people who have gone and, gotten educated. They may have multiple degrees. They may be, experts in their field, innovators, whatever you want to call them. It's hard for me to call them stupid. Now, they may not be adept in every field and may not know everything, but to call them stupid would be the wrong thing. Hey, I disagree with you. I think that's a foolish statement. That statement you may have made may have been foolish or whatever it is. But I just see people, and some of these people I may have gone to school with along the way who I knew were not the sharpest knife in the drawer, not the brightest Crayola in the box, if you will. And they're just calling all kind of people all kind of stupids and idiots and dumbasses, and I think that's such a weird thing. But I look at it, like I say, back to the black perspective. It's like you're looking at people in a better position than you, and you call them all kind of names and all kind of negatives because a lot of times, sometimes I think there's like a secret envy. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when that motherfucker's a coon. Like that motherfucker. Like there are times that there's one. You know what I'm saying? But it's rare. Like exotic Pokemon or something. I don't know. But it's the situation when anytime somebody says something that could be considered remotely reasonable, oh, they're a coon. It's like it's getting thrown about so loosely. Like a real coon is going to run out and put other races above his own. It's going to be, you would say, self-hate or all those other kind of. That's cooning. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just say, I think honestly, I think the coons are more so the people who do the most cooning, because you'll sit here and call somebody like Ben Carson, right? You call him a coon. Ben Carson's a doctor, very intelligent person, brain surgeon, a pediatric brain surgeon, I believe. And he get called all kind of coons. He's an idiot. He don't know all kind of shit, right? Whether you agree with him or not, the man has earned his accreditation. But then somebody like Tiffany Haddish will go pull chicken out of her purse, and she's doing it for the fucking culture. Oh, she's so funny. And then today, I don't know if y'all saw that, it was like a trending thing that apparently she's wanting to shout out at the goddamn funeral for fucking George Floyd. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is what I'm saying. Like, these fucking celebrities, man, it's so fucking crazy. Like, how much more attention do you need? This ain't the fuck about you. Sit your ass down in the fucking seat. Shut the fuck up. Let's honor the man for the reason we're here and move on. And then y'all sorry, that's a whole nother, anyway, I'm going to go off on a whole nother tangent, but it's just like, it's a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on, man. And it's just like, niggas, we gotta stop falling for the fucking okie doke, right? And the okie doke, it's the celebrity okie doke, you know? And it's the same ones, right? And it's the ones that tell you these messages and they tell you this bullshit, you know. And all it takes is you to put a celebrity in front of niggas to basically get them endorsed. And that's what bothers me, right? That's the thing that I have a problem with. You know, we got kids, lots of intelligent kids in the black community. But what I think is a lot of them get fucking left by the wayside because, again, we talked about cooning. You being a good student, you doing all that, you fucking cooning. You trying to be like them fucking white people. We do so much fucking detriment to ourselves. Those little things, you wouldn't think that's amazing. Oh, you know, I'm just fucking with him. It ain't no man. Those kind of things have psychological effects on the youth or your peers or whatever, because you want to fit into a group. It's just it's human nature. You want to be a part of a social group. You know, that's just what people want to do. We're gregarious creatures or whatever you want to call it. And so if you get kind of ostracized for something that is not a bad thing, you're gonna start negating it. It's easy. Just stop doing it. Stop studying. Stop reading stuff. And so you become some fucking dumb ass because you listen to some other fucking dumb ass who's only telling you that shit because he's less than capable of doing it and bringing you fucking down. And so instead of having more quality role models, and I'm not knocking the athletes, like, I think you got some great ones out there. And I'm not knocking the entertainers. I think you got some folks out there who do good. I saw J. Cole on the ground. J. Cole always, you don't ever hear him doing all this extra shit. He's about that action. You know, what he believes in, he's there. But we don't have real role models to give the youth, especially young black youth, the young black men. And so that's why everything's entertainers. Everything's fucking sports figures, right? You're talking about like a percentage of a chance. Like to be an athlete, you got 53 people on the football team. It's your best chance. Your best chance probably to go pro in any sport is football because of the number of people on the roster. Basketball, get the fuck out of here. Good luck. The number of people, you got to think about getting a scholarship coming out of high school, winning a starting spot on that roster, being on a good enough team to be relevant. And then, like I say, you got very few roster spots. And again, with basketball, motherfuckers play forever. So, it's a chance to get them. So it's like, very, very small percentage. What's a high percentage is studying and becoming somebody in a career where there's plenty of openings, there's plenty of growth where you basically dictate your future. But we'd rather encourage the children to become athletes. We'd rather force more energy into taking them to practice and doing all this. And there's nothing wrong with this if the same amount of effort is being put into their education, then put into their education though. And then when that doesn't work out, it doesn't pan through, let's just throw them by the wayside. Who's the next guy, or what's the next thing, or that you can overlook? And so to me, that's the cooning. Like that's the selling out of yourself, the undermining of yourself is the real cooning. Like doing something good, doing something that's going to advance you and benefit you, being smart with your money, being a fucking, I don't know. It's just so many different things, but that you'll get called a coon for, hey, you know what? I don't think the fucking riots are what's up. To me, it's a bunch of bullshit. You're fucking over a lot of small businesses who won't bounce back from this type of stuff. Larger businesses will. Insurance ain't the same. Maybe we say a whole bunch of, you can say reasonable things, but because the masses ain't rocking with that, you a fucking coon. Shut up, coon. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that bothers me. Maybe you can see that. It bothers the fuck out of me because certain conversations, I guess, the Discord, you got to be there for them. But, you can talk about police brutality, however you feel about that. You can talk about black relationships as far as the man and the woman. You can talk about that. But just the everyday dynamic with one another where if a person is doing good, doing better, then it's a bad thing. We view it as a bad thing. When motherfuckers see a motherfucker's downfall and they're praying for that type of stuff. Yeah, he was too good. He thought he was too good to come around here, etc. Like, and I'm not saying white people don't do it. I'm saying Mexicans don't do it. I'm not saying Asians don't do it. Everybody has people in their culture do it, but it's just like it's so pervasive. And this is from me being in, like, I'm not white, so I don't know the closed door conversations of white people or Hispanics or whatever else. So I'm just telling you, like, the things that I see or that I know that I actually being a part of. So, I know somebody's gonna come up. Well, why we ain't talking about white people? Why we ain't I don't, because I don't have the camouflage to blend in and get their secret conversation. Then you say, well, you're putting our secret conversations on the front street. Somebody got to say the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's because it's an emergency within the black community right now. Like right now, in this hot pocket, this time of change, there's a lot of shit that needs to go on. And this is gonna sound fucked up, and it's gonna sound kind of crazy. And we were talking about this earlier. Is I think it was a perfect storm that brought this whole situation about, the George Floyd situation. And I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm gonna open up the line here in just a second. But you gotta think about it. Motherfuckers pent up in the house all this time. Pent up energy, ain't been able to go out. Right? And I personally think, I always disagree with, but I personally think that because of the lack of sports, the lack of distractions, like you can only say and do so much. You can only do so much remembering it and rewatching and all that shit. And so then there's just this fucking tragic event that happens and everybody's paying attention. There's no, man, I saw this thing earlier, it was crazy, but man, that game's gonna come on and I can't wait to see him. Like, there's no other anything to say, well, let's look over here, the corona shit was weakening, like, and again, like I say, everybody wanted to get out, and now it's just like, you gave some people an excuse to get out, you gave some people a reason to get out. And this is where we are now, but it's like the whole fucking world's panicked. I saw shit in Syria. I saw, motherfuckers in Denver, like all over kind of crazy places. It's crazy. But we're going to have another conversation about that in the Discord after this. There's some things I want to talk about that are going to be kind of controversial, but I feel it's very true. So we'll kind of kill it right there. I'm going to open up the line. Because I know y'all want to get in. I know y'all like, Honcho, shut the fuck up. We want to fucking talk. We want to know about this Coon shit. We want to get in on this shit. But as I'm getting ready to open the line, I want to know your thoughts on the word Coon. Have you ever been called a Coon? Some of y'all have heard the story. If you're like a Den triple OG, then you've heard the story. I've told you about a cousin I have named Whoop, right? And I don't really rock a Whoop no more. But Whoop, the reason I call him Whoop is because that's probably 60% of the vocabulary he used when I was in conversation with him. The other 22% would probably be the word coon, and then whatever other words in between. And y'all are probably like, Honcho, you tripping? You just saying some shit like to just talking crazy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And no, but I'm dead serious. Like anybody you know, I don't know if Baker Man's in here. I don't know if he's. But Baker Man will tell you. I know actually know Baker Man in real life, so he's actually met him. But it's crazy. It's wild. Miss Me, what's the motherfucking deal? Smart Shillington, what's the motherfucking deal? Footballer, what's the motherfucking deal? Bro Lee, Wokety Woke, what's the motherfucking deal? So, it's like we're in this situation, right? Again, like I say, a lot of, we can talk about fighting with the police and all that, like, but it's an internal fight too. And it's like until you change that culture, like here's what happened with what was it, Dak? They were mad at Dak because he said, it's easier to change yourself than it is to change a bunch of people. I mean, it is like logic, like something logical like that will get you Coon status. It is a fact that it is easier to change yourself than it is to try to change a group of people. Than it is to try to change 2, 3, 4. It's easier to control you. You get canceled for that. That's Coon status for that shit, right? So anyway, it's a wild word. To me, it means nothing. Like it really has no merit because really gets to the point where the only time I start seeing people using it is usually when somebody's preaching. And then you look at the people who tend to get called coon. They like look at the people who are saying it, and then look at the people who are on the receiving end of the term, and then kind of look at everything as is, and you tell me who generally tends to be in a better position, right? And again, it's not going to be 100% all the time. I'm going to say, oh, every coon is better than anybody else. But it's like a lot of times the people we call coon and just for any old thing tend to be a lot better off, if I'm just being honest about it. So it's like they just be mad about their situation. I think a lot of it has to do with some jealousy and envy, especially when we talk about these celebrities. I wish we stop fucking, like say, put celebrities on the fucking forefront. But I think there's a lot of jealousy and envy when it comes to a lot of these things. And again, that's a conversation y'all don't want to have, but we're gonna have one day. Y'all hit that like button, be greatly appreciated. Give me just a second, and the line should almost be steady. Are you ready? What's going on? But I hope everybody's well, man. How are y'all doing? Well, all right now. All right. Well, let's get the party started. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's Belle. I had to get first call pistachios. I'm doing well. I got to do a shout out. Last night's den was awesome. I thought it was really great. The guys just being able to come together and have some good old fashioned sit down. I'm sorry, what? I think we debate differently. I don't think it's a matter of better or worse. I think it's just a matter of we just look at things differently. I agree. The den's gotten pretty serious, but the social topics have gotten really serious lately. So you got to you're tackling social topics, correct? So you're going with what you know.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and 2020 has been terrible. So that's like there's that, right? Because 2020 has been a terrible year. It's been nothing but bad shit to talk about. And then I was in jail for a little bit, but so it hadn't been the best year. So maybe things have gotten a little bit more serious. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I guess I'm going to put it out to you. I remember about a year ago you were talking about getting a men's group together.
Yes.
Have you been able to move forward with that?
No, I haven't. I've thought about maybe just doing something for now on, like maybe a private group on the Discord to keep you ladies out. But as far as in-person thing, no, hadn't moved forward with that. Not yet, but definitely will soon. Got a couple of things coming up in the next couple of months, so definitely in the plan. That's definitely. I think that we do have some great conversation when we do have. When everybody's in, I think the conversations are good. But it's some very interesting conversation when we're talking about holding each other accountable and things like that. So I definitely think that could be a real good thing.
Well, it's also really important, as you very well know, for understanding things in groups, whether it's like a women's sewing circle or it's, the boys' club. Sometimes there's some really positive things that come out of that. Not always. I have a hard time with the words because I try to keep it really positive, and that's just me. So, but anyway, just want to give a shout out. I'm kind of sort of keeping myself a little grounded and just letting, because just trying to back up and let everybody else have a voice. But I want to just let everybody know that last night was pretty freaking awesome.
Okay. I think it was too. I think it was a very good den. Yeah, it definitely was one of the better dens.
All right, then. I'm off and can't wait to hear who else calls next.
All right, Miss Bell, I appreciate you calling in and getting the party started. The bell has rung. Class is in session. You have a good evening.
All right, good night.
All right, good night. All right. Uh-oh. Let me hold on, make sure I got the proper settings. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Shaking my...
I'm sorry? What was all what for?
Rise up.
God damn it. Finger slipped. I had it. I was ready. My fucking finger slipped. I was doing my best to mute that. I was in preparation to block any rising. See, that's the problem now. See, that's what's wrong. Y'all did too much rising up in Atlanta. That's why they tell y'all shit up. You should have been sitting down. That's the problem. Y'all over there rising up. Sit y'all asses down, tearing up the stove and robbed the ice box. Boosie trying to buy the jewelry. What's going on in the ATL, shawty?
Oh, we scary. They went in the house at 9 o'clock. We scary. Don't even call.
He ain't trying to set it out.
We scared. Throw shit up. Mm-hmm. Like, them people in Minneapolis, like, burn whole police stations. Like, that's... Listen, you can't get no more G than that.
You was out there riding?
No, I'm too old. I can't. Tear gas.
There's a little bit of hesitation. There's a little bit of hesitation on that note, so I don't know. I ain't gonna say
no. Old fails.
Okay.
Too old. I did before. I did some years ago. But I think the only protest I was in was that Mike Brown. That was some years ago. But nah. I'm not fit for it because these some whole new rioters, protesters. Like I can't hang.
You can't hang. You can't hang. If you can't hang, you got to get out the game. What? Get out the game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, Miss.
That's that.
Miss Angela, I actually got a couple of questions for you. We'll cover a couple of things if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
First, you're in Georgia with the Ahmaud Arbery case. How are you feeling about kind of what took place today? They basically said that the son stood over him and called him a fucking nigger after he shot him. The neighbor testified to that. I don't know, in Georgia you guys don't have hate crime laws anyway. But what is the sentiment to that situation? Do people feel around that way that these guys are going to get off? Do they think the book's going to get thrown at them? Do you think they will be charged? Like, what are you feeling in that case, being a resident remotely around that area?
Well, the thing about it is this. Their hands was forced. They did an investigation in February. Nothing happened. Okay. Now that the video came out, the people are charged in the video that he released. Had he never released that video, nothing ever would have happened. I'm just going to tell y'all that now. So he released and he got charged, okay? So my thing on that is this. I don't have a opinion on that one way or other. Let me tell you why I say this. Because whatever's going to happen with the law is going to happen. Okay? Now that this George Floyd thing has happened, no one is thinking about Ahmaud Arbery. Okay? No one is thinking about that. So, I don't know. So I watched the hearings today, and I was going to do a live on that today, but I changed my mind. I did a live on something else because I just want to see how it play out before I do it. Because first things first, it happened in February. This is June, and all because the video came out. That's the only reason why all of y'all know about it. Correct?
Correct.
So I'm just gonna let that play out. I just don't have a opinion on that one way or the other right now. I really don't, because of how they waited so long and all of a sudden all these charges are brought about and this and that. Now, I'm going to get to this. Prepaid Mike and I had a conversation in the chat. And he asked me to call in because I said my stance is different on Trump now. So everybody, yeah. They know. And one thing I'm not scared of is to tell people when I was wrong or right or this and that. So my stance, I'm on live. Come here. I just want you. Hold on, y'all. I'm talking to my. Y'all, hold on. Let me some more. Okay. So my daughter's eating my dinner.
No, it's terrible.
So
what you
anyway,
eating?
Yeah, she's eating my. Oh goodness, that's so good. It's so good. See,
it's good. Yeah,
you heard I can have my own fry. Okay, so let me go to what me and Prepaid was talking about.
Okay.
No. Yeah, it is something in there. It ain't no salmon, but it's some more spinach. So anyway, with him, okay, let's start with one thing I agree with him with. No, let's start with more than one, but I'm going to start with this. First, y'all told y'all, I agree with him with the wall and everything. I've always agreed with that. So, y'all know I used to call him names and say this and that and this and that. So, I've had a recent epiphany. So, with the Antifa thing, one thing he wanted to do was call them a terrorist group. And let me tell you why. Because those are Russian foreign students. Okay? Now, everybody's looking at him and what they think he says, but they're not really listening to him. And one thing about it, one thing I told y'all, and I can't lie about it, I've been watching him since The Apprentice. I've been watching Trump for years. Okay? It's a lot of things people aren't looking at that he's saying. Now, mind y'all, I didn't get no stimulus. We make too much in this house to get any kind of stimulus. So this is not about the stimulus. We didn't get any. But as I sat back and studied and looked, this is for you, Prepaid Mike. I'm going to give it to y'all. I tell y'all when I'm wrong. Okay? I'll tell y'all. The things he has done for us, Aboriginals, African Americans, or whatever you want to call it, is more than any other president that has been in office. I can say that.
Really?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
And I was listening to people and what they were saying. I can't make people believe. They got to go back and do what I did, which look at the facts and what's happening. Okay? He tried to tell us this stuff before it happened. Now notice, Honcho, the last couple of days y'all have not seen Antifa. You know why? People are starting to catch on because of what Trump said.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if y'all can't see this, I don't know what to say. If y'all are too stupid to say, I'm just going to be like, I still hate him. No. He has been saying this since before he got in office. None of us listened.
Yeah.
Now look, we had Antifa, which is Russian foreign students coming over here trying to overtake or overthrow, whatever words you want to use, our government. They using us against our own government, and we are fighting for it. I mean, he said this. This is not the first time he said it. He said it years ago. I just can't prepay Mike. Yes, I have been. Listen, I tell y'all when I'm wrong. Guess who I'm voting for?
Hold on, everybody. Before you say it, I think everybody needs to perk up. Everybody needs to listen up. We may have a historic moment happening right here in the Den live tonight. This may be epic. Hold on, we got to find out. Hold on, the fucking event would come back on. Miss Angela, a.k.a. going by the screen name, the handle, Miss Meat. Who do you intend to vote for this upcoming election?
Donald Trump.
There you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. This.
Y'all know how to talk shit. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all seen it. For over, what, a year since I've been in it then?
Yes.
I know it.
Yes.
So, I can say this also, not only that, guys, he has pardoned more black folks than any president that has stood or stand or resided in the White House.
So I got a question. I have a question. This is I think I don't know if people realize like what just happened is actually much bigger than y'all realize. It's much bigger than just Miss Angela, because this is a thing, and I think you could attest to this, that in the black community, excuse me, in the black community, you kind of get shunned and looked down upon if you are a Trump supporter. Would you say that's true?
I would say that's true if you're not Miss Me. So let me tell you what happened to that. The people that, my family and my friends, they call me because we do have an election coming up next Tuesday in November. They call me. They say, you ain't sent us who we supposed to vote for. So I have a big stance, whether people want to believe. I have a big, what you want to say, stance, or they listen to me on what I say. And when I truly open my eyes and truly look around me, what was going on, this is what it is. So, as of now, we do not claim Democrat nor Republican. We claim what we see without this. I can't hear you, Honcho. You talking, but I can't hear you.
I'm listening. I mean, this is historic because, like you said, you have been in here and been very adamant. Orange man bad. Hey, I don't rock with Trump. And I would actually say that when I'd ask about Obama and why black people liked Obama, I would actually refer that you were the only person that I've spoken to that gave me a direct reason and justified it.
That's right.
Yes, and so
that was on. And I would tell people that don't know, that maybe just joined the den, why I liked Obama. I liked Obama because he changed the laws on medical, on insurance. Let me tell y'all why, because of course y'all know I had a daughter that passed away. She was really sick. So he changed it from 21 to 26, which means I got to take care of her until she passed away at 23. So that's what I liked about that. So that's it on him. That's the only thing I can say. That's it. But as far as me in the den, people that's been here since the beginning know how I felt on Trump. They see what I said in the comments. They see what I said on this phone when I called in. I'm telling y'all, had it been Rickett Hillary or anybody else in this office, we would still be on lockdown. The United States would still be closed. Okay? Your president said, open this bitch up. Okay? Hey. Hmm? Right. What are my thoughts on what? And that word gone. Let me tell you something. People are going to be who they're going to be. They're going to support who they're going to support. The word was put here for us to divide and separate and fight each other. Okay? Just because you don't believe what someone says or the president, because the word coon went around, but it really has been thrown around since Trump went in office. Okay? Let's be real. That's the word coon. But coon is not really relevant anymore, so if you use it, people basically place, because first of all, who's out on the front line is these kids. Your children are out here marching and protesting. They don't care about that word.
Yeah.
It's only old people my age using that word. Okay.
Old people. Okay. So, but why do you think? I mean, because that's a word that it really only holds weight when we use it against one another. You know, like
Exactly.
I almost calling somebody a sellout. So why do you think this is a term that we use against each other? Do other races have terms like that?
Because let's be honest, it was given to us by somebody that was against us to use it against each other. And that's what we did. Everybody has the right to see. First of all, we know what's wrong and what's right. Okay? Now, that man kneeling on his neck that long, we know what he was doing. We know what that was all about. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. We know what's wrong and what's right. But we know how people perceive things and what they want to say. But that word didn't actually start from us. It did not. We took it and ran away with it. And that's what we use when we don't want to hear the truth. Most of the time when you call somebody a coon, they're telling you something you don't want to hear.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's just the way it is. They're telling us something we don't want to hear, that we know deep down is right, but we don't want to hear it because somebody of our skin tone, of our melanin, said it. We would take that word, or we would take that more in value if someone of not our color or of not melanin would have said it. That's just the fact.
Okay.
I think it's something, and I think it's a word that people are just using to try to piss people off when they really don't know what it means. Because it has no value. It holds no value. It holds nothing to either our race or any other race. It certainly doesn't hold anything to melanin. But that's what we use to disagree or shoot down another melanin person. It holds no value. Point blank. Holds none. So, y'all can keep listening to the word. When people call you that, which most people laugh now when they call you that. and just get rid of the word. It's so many words like nigga, nigger, cracker, all that stuff. Woodpecker, woody, whatever. All that stuff is, I mean, it's all words. It's all words. It holds no value because people have a right, no matter what color you are, as I realized, because I was listening to other melanin people on a certain subject, Trump, and going along with it. And that's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to look at the facts, point blank. And the facts are, he has done more for us than your last president. I'm just saying. Look at the facts.
That's
And I
hard for some
will
people to hear.
encourage my family, because me and my daughter, her friend had a 2-hour talk today. She said, Mama, what are you saying about this now? And I explained what I said at first, because I don't ever go back on what I said. I will always say I was wrong, or I didn't look at the facts. Facts are the facts. Yes, this is a history day for us. And me, Miss Me.
Okay. Well, man, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's probably the last thing I'd ever expect to hear from Miss Angela.
Miss Bell said, please ask Miss Me how Georgia's doing since the reopen. Well, there's no really new cases of corona, because I can get into that. That's a whole different subject, y'all. Whole different subject, okay? But Georgia's doing great. Of course they are. They've been down there protesting and everything else, and hell, I've been out. Even though I take precautions, it's something you all got to look at. That's all part of this agenda. That I hate to say this, please don't. Yep, okay, don't laugh at me. That the Democrats are doing. Okay, they are trying to get Trump out of office by any means necessary. So they tried the corona, that didn't work. So they're trying this stuff, that didn't work. So it's just to get him out. It all is. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really feel like it's a lot of desperation attempts to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the best solution would be just, show us what you're founded. What are you standing on? What can you offer, instead of being so determined to try to undercut Trump and get him out of there, make him like, why don't you present something? Show us why it would be worthwhile to vote Democrat, as opposed to just tell us, Trump bad, or saying all that. I think that you would get a better response to that. I think they dedicated way too much energy trying to combat him, instead of, just building their own brand, or maybe a rebrand is what they need after some of the, negative press. But that's kind of like my whole thing. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, the Democrats are starting to look sad now, because they sent these ballots to our house, right? These absentee ballots, so they could try to do what they do, but we're not falling for it. And they're going through extreme measures that's not working. Like, the coronavirus didn't work, so now we have this, okay? So they're going to do anything they have to do. And from what I understand by talking to the young people is they are confused. So I think it's my obligation and right to tell the truth. That's why I told the truth to my daughter and the young people today.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We see what they're doing.
Okay. So do you think they actually dig themselves a deeper hole?
Yes. Yes. Because now that people are wondering, like, what is this and what's going on? Yes, they are. They are. And it's sad, and it's stupid, and it's ridiculous.
Man,
And they blaming the president, which you can't blame the president for what's going on in your city or your state. This has all been propaganda and set up. Why would you lay bricks out 2 days before a so-called protest or riot comes? Why would you have police officers caught setting buildings on fire if you didn't want him out? The corona didn't work, so now they're going through extreme measures. That's it. That's all this is to it. There's no other way to look at it. That's it. They're trying everything they can.
I mean, I think it's wild. Like I say, it's peculiar. I mean, you see a lot of videos, you see a lot of different things floating around, and man, it's if somebody tried to tell you that this was going to happen years ago, you don't call them a liar.
Yeah, Louis, you're right. Russia didn't work. That's the Antifa, y'all. Russia didn't work. Corona didn't work. So what's next? Us tear down our own motherfucking country. Yeah. That's what was next. And that's not working now because a lot of people are starting to see through the line. Impeachment didn't work. None of that worked.
It's kind of crazy because it's almost like it is back to back to back to back to back. Because it was the corona was coming on as the impeachment thing was winding down, and then as soon as the corona thing kind of winds down, you got the this whole situation with the riots and things. So it's a very, very crazy year, man. Very, very
if
crazy.
You don't open your eyes and you just want to say and you just want to stick to what you're saying, fine. Fool. But you're a fool. Open your eyes and see what's going on back to back to back. It's crazy. What they gonna try next? And see, we're test dummies. That's what we are to them. We're test dummies. So they keep trying shit back to back, and we're tired of it. Like, stop it. We don't want to be tested. You tested us for corona. You tested us for this. Now you testing us for that. Stop it. Race riots, you trying to get us to go against each other and tear our own hoods down and shit down just to try to get him out of office. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are just, it makes you wonder about some of these things they say about some of the underlying members of what they call it, the deep state or whatever, because it's just like, I don't think I'm not going to sit there and act like I've paid attention as much maybe as I am now, or been as much as observant as much as I am now. But it just seems different, the approach and the way that things are going, like with Trump. Maybe again because he's an outsider or something, I have no idea. But it just, this whole presidency, it just seems something like it's been something different. Like, I know each president has problems they have to deal with, they have obstacles to overcome. And again, whether you're for Trump or against Trump, I mean, it is what it is. It's not about, I think that he's the world's greatest thing or anything like that. But it's just, if you're just looking at it and the situation that he's overcome basically pretty much successfully, I mean, it's a fact that all these things that they've tried to put on him, he's made it through.
They keep thing after thing after thing after thing, and all they doing is hurting us in the process of them trying everything because they so-called think he cheated on the last election, which is fine. But they doing way worse than cheating on some fucking numbers and, on some, what you call them, voting machines. They putting our lives in literally danger. People are literally dying for this stuff that they're trying to do. And it's stupid. And if people don't wake up and see what the fuck is going on, we're going to keep dying. Come on, it's too much. Just to say who needs to be the president of the United motherfucking States. It's ridiculous now. It's getting to be too much. I'm the first person to say I'm not going to be no fool and say what I don't see what the Democrats are doing right now. They're trying any means necessary to get him out. Fuck our lives, fuck our kids, fuck our grandparents, fuck our husbands, Fuck our wives who are dying for this right now. And our kids that's out there getting tear gas, bombs, rubber bullets, killed, and everything. Any means necessary to them right now. It's any means necessary. And if y'all don't see that, I don't know what to say.
I mean, that's just where we are right now in the world. That's crazy. It really is crazy that it's come to this point. Like, I mean, it just, again, if you said at the beginning of the year, this is where we were headed. Halfway through the year, I thought you were crazy. I thought you were a lunatic.
Tonight will never be forgotten. Tonight we celebrate Mrs. Me. Tonight we all rise up.
It's going to end this year. It's still going to be a lot going on. Shout out to Prepaid, man. Appreciate the love.
2020 is done. 2020 is done. It's going to be this year. Done. Like, y'all see more of your people die, more of your family die. More some bullshit going on, especially when he get back in, because he's getting back in. Because people are starting to see the lengths and the extremes they are going through to get him out of office. They are sacrificing us, their own people.
Damn.
Deny it, and if you do, fine. You can disagree with me, but Ed, have I ever? What was my stance at first?
Orange man bad. It was orange man bad. It was forget Trump and we ain't rocking with him, and you know, like I said,
races and everything. But you can't, if you smart or have a brain, you can see what's going on. The corona didn't do it for them. So what they do? They tried something else. They tried something else. And they're going to keep trying.
Yeah.
On the sacrifice of their own people. Now, my worry is this. Look at the other countries. Look how weak we are.
Yeah. I don't know. We're extremely weak. I mean, compared to other countries, oh, come on, we're a joke. And it's not even about even on the rioting aspect. I think they watching us, they laughing, they looking at us burn, because even just the way as a society we represented, we put ourselves out there now is much more effeminate as a whole than we used to be. We used to, not have a problem with flexing muscle, showing strength. Now we don't want to offend anybody or upset anybody. So as a country, we don't really even show that aggressiveness like we used to. And then now, like I say, we're infighting, we're burning ourselves down, and all the other problems. Other countries see that, and they see a weakness, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took advantage of it.
It's crazy because but I'm saying this speech to tell y'all to open your eyes and look at certain shit that's happening. Please do. Because why stuff happens one after the other. If something don't work, we're going to try this. This don't work, we're going to try this. That's a sacrifice of us. Come on. I'm going to let somebody else get in. I know I've been over the time, but I had to say that. And I had to come out and say this, because this is what it is. There's nothing different. They are trying anything to get him out of office. And for what? For what?
I don't know. Maybe he's not with the program. He ain't playing the game the way they want him to play. I think that's the problem.
They're playing a dirty game at the expense of life, at the expense of our family. I just lost someone. We just buried her Monday to so-called COVID.
I'm sorry to hear that.
32-year-old.
Oh man, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
Man, look, it's at the expense of us though. They're trying anything. Guys. COVID didn't work. So the first thing, what's the first 2 days they said during the COVID? Oh, the COVID gonna spread. We're gonna have mass amount of COVID. Guess what? We don't have not one new motherfucking case.
Yeah, so it is a reduction. Yeah.
Come on, y'all. We have to fight against this and do what's right. That's all I'm saying. And I'm here to do it. I'm the first one to say I was wrong because I've told y'all I'm never getting Ed to say I'm wrong. And I see what the Democrats are doing, Jesus. They going to the extreme at the sacrifice of their people. Okay? I'm done. I just call in. So,
Well,
prepaid Mike. Hey, prepaid Mike. You're right. You got it, bro. Like,
I gotta shout out Prepaid's what he said tonight will never be forgotten. Tonight we celebrate Miss Meat, and tonight we all rise up. You know what? Tonight I guess I will not hate on the rise up because this is. I mean, and again, it's not because I'm saying because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not. It's because of how hard Miss Meat used to go get. And I'm a person that I believe that people can change, whether you think it's good or bad, whatever you may think it is.
Yep.
I just like to see people be open-minded and willing to change their thoughts on things. So this is a historic night, yes.
And I undermined it. I really undermined it. The Democrats and what they can do and what they can start and what can happen. Y'all criticize Trump because he said he wanted to make Antifa a terrorist group. You guys, those are Russian foreign students. They are not Americans. Yes, they should make them a foreign. He's trying to tell y'all something without trying to tell y'all. We have to listen to this stuff. Our families are dying, like real life, for some shit that's controlled by a party. We got to stop it. We got to stop this shit.
How do you feel Keisha Bottoms is handling the situation?
Lord, these kids. Listen, let me tell you something. It ain't even about how I feel well, I don't live in the city of Atlanta, so I can't vote for her per se. But she's not getting back in because, first of all, the very first night, Honcho, she stopped Marta. She stopped the train and the buses at 9 o'clock without giving people notice. Imagine the mothers and fathers and people who had a Marta, who had a weekly card, who don't have Uber or Lyft money. They could not get home from work that night. It's a lot of stuff she has done that y'all haven't seen over the main street that she's done in the city. She done fucked up. I couldn't vote for her. I don't live in the city of Atlanta. But the way she's moving, and she's a puppet, and just like Paul Howard charging, it was bad. Okay, everybody's seen on live TV what happened to those kids. Okay? It was bad. It was. But what I'm telling y'all is they decided to bring charges against 5 black men, 5 black police, and 1 white police. When we've had other instances and other things that happened with white police in our state, but you decide to bring charges against them, girl, you ain't getting back in, honey. Look, you ain't Shirley Franklin, baby. You gone. She gone.
Okay.
That's all I can say. She's gone. She fucked up. She don't know what she's doing. She's a puppet. She's a puppet. She was put in by the Democrats. She's a puppet. That's what I'm telling y'all. Puppet. Let me tell y'all why Stacey Abrams didn't get into Georgia as governor. Because she wasn't going to be a puppet. That's all it is. Hey. Yeah, she really failed the young people. Because us older people don't really give a fuck. But she really failed the young adults that's going to vote her out. Who took the train, who took the MARTA, who was working, who was trying to go to school, who was trying to do this and that. She really screwed them over.
No.
At first, she wasn't going to charge those police. Of course, 2 got fired. Okay, because they had shit on their jacket. So why are you going to charge them? She don't charge the police for unjustly killing someone. Okay. It's all for show. As we call it these days, clout chasing. And they know it. That's what they are saying. Every young adult in this motherfucking Georgia is calling her a clout chaser.
Mm.
So that's bad for her. So that's all I got to say on her. Because I don't vote for her. I don't live in the city of Atlanta. I live in the suburbs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's why I say you in the burbs. That's what it is. Now I know why you vote for Trump.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Well,
messing.
I'm still 12 minutes away, but I'm not in the city of Atlanta.
Okay.
But I'm 12, but I'm not in the actual city of Atlanta.
Okay. I mean, you
So I can't vote for her. But I've seen what they said. And I do live in a black county. And I've been listening to other people. But when I really sat down, Honcho, and see what they are doing, this corona, my daughter, her friends lost their job because of this. They can't work. There's many of us affected because Democrats are trying anything to get him out of office.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Jesus. I'm thinking about not even going to vote.
No, you got to look. Because if you don't vote, then that's going to be...
I'm big on that. I'm big on that. But I'm scared if I go vote, maybe they're going to try to give me the Rona, shoot it up in my house or some shit because I voted for him. There's no limit to what they're doing right now.
I mean, everything on the table.
It's like the dude in the hood. It's like that dude in the hood that was your friend. He was your friend, but you didn't want to take him out because you didn't know how the fuck he was going to act.
Yeah.
That's how that's happy.
So Democrats don't know how to act.
What's going to happen? So, I don't know. But I'm going to let somebody else in. Okay. I just have to say that. I'm listening. Y'all gonna call in. Shout out to you. Shout out to Prepaid Mike. I know you in the building. Yes, Prepaid. I seen you when you said you didn't see our first comment. But I told him, I said you are right. And I'm not ashamed to say when someone is right. That's just me. And I'm wrong.
Well, that's a good quality to have. So I appreciate you, Miss Angela. And
I'm not ashamed of that. Like, I'm not scared to say when I'm wrong. It is what it is. But I will be voting for the president. But as far as our locals next Tuesday, it doesn't matter because we see how this working with the locals. I'm telling y'all, within these riots and these protests within our locals, I see how that's going. And I see how they're handling it. So, all right. Rise up. I'm out.
Yes, tonight we will rise up. Thank you, Miss B. All right. We got some calls. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, it's El Lobo, man.
El Lobo, what's the motherfucking deal, Mr. Lobo? What's on your mind this evening, sir?
Well, first off, man, hey, with all that Coon stuff going on, hey, I'm a proud sweet coconut, so, or at least that's what I so-called, at least, I don't know. I still say I'm a proud Tejano American, and ain't nobody can tell me shit about it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I know more about the Mexican culture than most Mexicans in Mexico that I've talked to. They know nothing about the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Mayas, all the ways going back down there to when the Spanish invaded, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's it. I find that sad how a little old coconut can know more than them. But anyway, what I find confusing, man, is how is it in this country in general, race aside, how is it that a hoe like LeBron James is worshipped more than, say, a proud man like David Goggins? I mean, you know who David Goggins is, right?
Absolutely. He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah. Man, I don't know, because I think people want to be entertained, not instructed. People don't really want the answers in America. They just want something to bide their time. And LeBron James, if you're a basketball fan, he does that. And you'll tolerate, depending on who you are, listening to him say and do and probably stage a couple of crazy events in order to keep you watching him play basketball. So, my thing with that is, again, like David Goggins, he's a guy, He's gonna get on your ass. He's gonna talk shit to you. You know, he's gonna make you realize that you're capable. I don't think most Americans even want that. So, if you respected a man like that, then you'd have to start taking his words and his advice and utilizing it, which means work.
Well, I mean, now this is like, maybe I'm just too indoctrinated into the military or something, but I'm like, David Goggins can freaking kill LeBron James easily. And, you know, David Goggins is a warrior. David Goggins can actually help people.
Yes.
They say LeBron gives to charities. Well, you know what? So do I. You know, he wants to talk about this and this and that. A lot of people talk about, you know, helping out communities. You know, I volunteer all the time. Never see any of them down there. You know, so, you know, like David Goggins, yeah, he does get on your ass. He ain't gonna coddle you. He ain't gonna play. You know, like he says he's not gonna listen to this victimhood mentality. He said he hates it. He says because victimhood does nothing but create resentment for yourself and everyone else.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know how you feel about that, Honcho, but I mean, you know, a man like Goggins. I mean, hell, and the funny thing is, I ask everybody, you know who David Goggins is? Who?
Yeah, no. David Goggins he's a bad man. Like I said, I remember you talking about he ran a marathon or he finished it might have been more than a marathon. But he basically like broke his legs and he still kept running. Like, I know he had the record for pull-ups in a day, I think, for a while, and I think somebody might have came and broke it. But I mean, he's just a dude. He's a cold-blooded man, you know. So I definitely have a lot of respect for David Goggins and what he's done in his life. He has a very interesting story. I actually got the book, and I don't have the physical copy. I have an audio, but I hadn't listened to it. I kind of told myself I wanted to get the physical copy. I'd rather read. I'd rather have like a physical copy of a book. But I came across the audio book, and I told myself I would listen. I still hadn't listened to it yet, though.
Well, you know, and that's where, you know, I get this, and you know, the athletes in general. I mean, like right now, you got LeBron's whole ass freaking jumping on Drew Brees because Drew Brees didn't even say anything derogatory.
Right.
He didn't even name names. All he did was he respected the flag and the anthem, as do I. I'm not about to grab anybody by the neck and make them stand. You know, why? Because that's what China would do. And that's what LeBron was on his knees, you know, giving lip service to President Xi in China, you know, since, you know, the Rockets, Daryl Morey came out against China, which everyone should. I mean, people seem to have forgotten that China is not a good place. It is not a nice place. I don't know why people think that is. And go ahead.
Not cheap goods, that's why. The goods are cheap. They'll tolerate it.
And yeah, goods are cheap. And I said yes. And everybody seems to have forgotten that about freaking Mao Zedong, you know, who was the biggest mass murderer in civilization history. You know, as far as I know, you know, yes, worse than Hitler, worse than Stalin, worse than Mussolini. You know, unless you want to count Karl Marx, who was the inventor of this whole socialist communist mentality, you know, and who wrote the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital. You know, it's, you know, and LeBron is paying lip service to him. I'm like, what in the hell the Chinese got on him? Besides the fact that they probably make his shoes. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
and, you know, and then LeBron wants to go off on Drew Brees. I'm like, this ain't none of your business. You know, I mean, so what if he respects the flag? And I mean, I'm not saying LeBron don't, and I personally I don't give a damn, but it's like, who are you to freaking? I mean, it's like this. What Ben Shapiro was talking about on his podcast earlier was woke, and I mean, I didn't realize this, but I'm now starting to agree with this because I try to stay as apolitical as I can, but you know, and call it down the middle as much as I can. But woke is now starting to become almost like a religion. And you know, Drew Brees broke the sacred law. You know, he criticized, or without so many words, Colin Kaepernick. Oh no, Saint Kaepernick, you can't criticize him. You now must be punished and run naked through the streets, throwing awful at you because you broke the sacred law. It's you know, and it's getting ridiculous. I mean, opinions there is no more opinions. There's only, if you don't agree with what I say, I think you said this earlier, then that means you've broken the sacred laws of woke.
Correct.
And, being with the Hispanic man, and then if I'm not mistaken, again, like I went off on my rant last week, Cap said something about Civil War, and I'm like, dude, all you are doing is enticing a riot. We all know you ain't got the stomach to actually pick up an AR or a pistol or an AK or or a freaking Sturmgewehr, whatever the hell you want to call it. You ain't got the balls to actually pick up a weapon and start blasting. Because if you had the guts for that kind of fun, you'd have done it years ago. And I mean, that's just from what I've seen. But, Keith Ellison's son over in Minnesota saying he wants war on cops. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Because when I think of war, I'm thinking, okay, we're about to literally either A, start throwing hands, or B, we're literally about to start fighting in the street. And, with this, one side versus the other side, and, like, people have said you have to pick a side. And it's like, I hate it when people say you have to pick a side, because, honestly, I don't give a shit about any of these dipshits. So it doesn't affect me personally.
No, definitely.
But if you tell me to pick a side, I've had to tell somebody the other day, I already picked my side when I was 18 years old, when I signed a dotted line and I raised my hand, and I said that oath never expires. And if you tell me to pick a side, I will pick a side, and it's probably not going to be the one you want me to pick. It's like you're only going to assault people. You're only going to do all this shit. You're only going to call people coons. You're only going to do all this for so long before another side just starts saying, okay, I've had enough, and they're going to start fighting back. Kind of, ironically enough, what has happened now, but now it's gone into, we're protesting for George Floyd, to now we're protesting America and the police as a whole. And then, then you've got, like, this half-ass anarchy shit, and I'm just kind of like, okay, if you do not agree, then you're a coon. If you don't agree, you're a coconut. And, and I have to ask these people, under whose authority do you have to judge anyone?
Correct.
Who are you to say what coon is? I mean, did you make the dictionary and said, oh, coon, yes, da-da-da-da-da. You have to do this and this and that. I'm just kind of like, whose authority are you to judge? You're not God. You're not Jesus Christ. And go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing, and it kills me, because generally the people who are levying these insults or throwing these things out, the person that you're insulting generally probably has a better plan or a better idea. Generally represents the culture that you say that they're demeaning, probably represents it better. Again, but for some reason it's okay to insult people who carry themselves in a different light. I don't understand that. That's just
right.
baffling.
You remember the show The Fresh Prince of Will Smith in the 90s? Of course you do, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I watched it when I was a little kid. That show, what I loved about it, and a lot of people have forgotten about it, and probably even Will Smith himself, because he's gotten his own woke self now too. But in fact, I think Will Smith used to almost be a homophobe. Now he's like, there's some questions going on about his sexuality now. But it's they talked about, there was an episode where Carlton would not be let into a fraternity or something like that because he was not considered a brother enough.
Correct.
I think we all remember that episode. And, honestly, Carlton he said, I'm jumping through the same through hoops you are. I'm not trying to be black. It's what I am. He says, so why are you tripping me up? And then he kind of left it at that. He said, basically because he's a Republican and his family happened to be successful, and now there's a price for being successful.
Yes.
And the price is that you lose some sort of blackness, and I had to live through that, as a Hispanic, because when I was in the, did the Leo correctional thing, they ask me all the time, who did I get into arguments or flex with more? Was it the Mexicans or blacks? And I tell them honestly, it was the Mexicans. They did not like me, and I did not like them. I mean, the blacks, black offenders, no more than anyone else, I guess. I mean, the only use of force I ever got into, was with a black offender. Long story, but anyway, and even the officers, they were just as racist as the Mexicans there too. And one guy told me something. He said, "Do you know why these Mexican offenders respect me?" And I said, honestly, I don't care, but why? And he goes, "Because I act Mexican." And I said, "Well, how does one act Mexican?" I said, "What is this act you are talking about?" And, he couldn't explain it. He's like, "I can't explain it to you." And I said, No. I said, "You just said it. Explain it. If you're gonna say this, I mean, you better know what the hell you're talking about, unless you're just one of these people who just loves hearing themselves talk." And he just says that he just does stuff a certain way. And I said, "What's that way?" And he says, you act more white. And I said, "How do I act white?" And it's these constant things, you cannot explain it. And I told him, I would tell anybody that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You will say something, but you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And just like Carlton said, I said, "I'm not trying to be Mexican. I'm not trying to be anything. I am who I am. And number one," I said, "I'm American first. Texas is my home. Mexico is my heritage, and I like it that way. But I said, if you do not check these certain boxes of what it is to be, and I've seen it in the Asian community too. If you're in the Asian community, you get called a Twinkie. Yeah. So it's like, and that's what I hate. I said, to be a certain race, you have to check these boxes. With Eminem saying that he acts black, and no, motherfucker, you don't. You're white. You're white. I'm like, at the end of the day, you can rap, you can do all this, and that's fine. I don't care. But dude, you're white at the end of the day. That's it. And, I'm not trying to say he ain't from the hood. He ain't got no hood mentality, any of that stuff. I don't know him like that. Don't care. But it's, at the end of the day, you're white. Rachel Dolezal, you're white. You can pay lip service to whoever I am. You are who you are at the end of the day. And I just don't know under whose authority anybody has to judge and say you're this or that, you're a coon, you're this, just because I do not happen to live on your plantation of thought. And I said, believe it or not, I tell everybody, yes, I voted for Obama twice. When I was in the military, I did. I didn't really know what I was doing. I thought I did, but because I grew up the same way, Honcho, knowing that, thinking that if as a Hispanic man, Democrats are for the poor people. Yeah, sure they are. And, but it's, what's that? Well, it's, and then it's only recently around 2012, 2013 that I really started, shifting in the other direction. Winston Churchill once said, if you're young and you're not a liberal, you don't have a heart. If you're older and not conservative, then you don't have a brain. It's just the frame of mind I was in. It's just that, and I do ask people, at the end of the day, with all this, and I ask them, what is it going to take for you to be happy? Do you remember an episode of South Park where that white guy on that show says the N-word on the Wheel of Fortune? He asked Jesse Jackson, what do I got to do with Eric because you got to kiss my ass. And I literally do want to know that question. Is it going to take people literally bending over and kissing your ass
Is it literally going to take white people on the street freaking bending over and spreading their cheeks and you can do them? Is that what it's going to take? Uh-huh.
Now, I've been fucking up bad with the mutes tonight. It's because of the damn vent, so I've been trying to cut it off, and then I forget to cut it back on because the damn thing's so long. But yeah, I think people want the spectacle, so they don't really want to.
Yeah, it's and honestly, I told somebody earlier, like, I saw some white people on their knees in front of black people, to show this, and they're holding up their right hand like they're God or something, and like in the church, and then they're saying, "Very good, you are forgiven." And I'm like, what? I said, I'm sorry. If any white person or black person or Asian or anyone kneels before me to beg for some sort of forgiveness from me, I said, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to freaking punch you in the freaking head.
Well, people are just, and I said, that's how brainwashed people are.
And they said, why? Why? And they said, why would you kick somebody in the face for that? I said, because you just kneeled before me. Number one, I'll die before I kneel before anybody. I kneel before nobody but God.
Not sure if Miss Meat just upped her troll game.
And I don't care what.
But if she's really against Democrats, I give respect for that. Took you long enough, lol.
Just because my ancestors did something bad, and just to earn your so-called word of forgiveness, which that isn't going to make you happy either. That's probably just going to make you even more angry. It goes back to the victimhood mentality, and if you don't agree with the victimhood mentality, or, if you've been red-pilled, as Elon Musk said, then you are seen as some sort of evil bigot, or, a self-hater or some shit like that. And I mean, I just said the excuses just get so ridiculous after a while, they almost become comical.
Yes. It's crazy.
And I had to put it through somebody psychologically. I said, look, psychologically, what the problem is? I told them, look, you're just angry about the past, you're angry about your economic status, you're angry that you don't get what you want in this life, you're angry that you're unemployed right now, you're angry that you feel like you've been subjugated to a system through your own head, that, you feel is against you, and there's nothing you can do about it, you feel hopeless, so you're throwing a temper tantrum about it. That's it, and that's it. It's that simple. It's not because and I said, you want reparations, honestly, because you just want to check them out. But it's just, this constant negativity, Honcho, and, this constant, judgment of what it means to be black or Hispanic or Asian or even Muslim is, this checkbox, format that they have is getting absolutely ridiculous. And it's almost becoming comical, and I'm wondering when Dave Chappelle is actually going to start pulling them now, too.
I'm sure he's got some material in the works ready for him.
Because, and I do know that there are some, Hollywood, there are, quite a few conservative commentators out there that swear up and down that there are quite a few conservative, well-known Hollywood people out there that just can't say it, otherwise, they're going to get this cancel culture, and that's why I'm kind of like, at this point, I'm like, well, go ahead and cancel. What the hell is that going to do? Is that going to make it better?
And that's the crazy thing, because that makes people think it's like it's an end-all, be-all, getting cancel culture. Like that's part of the problem too,
And I'm just hoping that woke does not become even more of a religion than it is now. And with me, heading to a university, a big-time university, I'm going to be quitting my job, within the next, by fall 21, I'll be going to a university full-time, either in Dallas, here in Houston, or possibly even San Antonio. I don't know which yet, whoever offers me the best deal, and I'm hoping that I do not get into it with some of these
these little youngsters here, because I said, I'm not one of these people that I hate fighting, I hate bloodshed, I hate any kind of conflict. I'm a very peaceful, loving person, but I'm not afraid to bleed. And I said, and what worries me is when I get into these difficult conversations, am I going to hurt somebody's feelings? And then I got to worry about Antifa coming after me now, and then I'm going to be forced to defend myself.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
And it's like, and I said, and I'm not the nicest guy when I'm forced to defend myself. It's, we're trained to do this kind of stuff. And it's like, I'm not this skinny white boy locked in my mama's basement, playing Call of Duty all day. It's, and that's what most of these Antifa people are. You look all over the internet. There's so much footage of them getting dropped, one hitter quitter style by Mike Tyson style left hook.
Oh yeah, those guys are lightweights, a lot of lightweights.
And so I said, and that's why they do that pack dog, hyena style attack. You might be able to beat one or two of us, but you can't take 10 of us, which I think is the, that whole Houston Tonga Blast style of fighting. Yeah. I said, I think that's the stupidest, most cowardly way I've ever seen anybody fight. As far as street fight goes. Now, in war, when you're defending your homeland, I said, okay, you do whatever the hell you got to do, but that's another story. But anyways, Honcho, I don't want to take up too much time anymore, but I just wanted to lend my opinion on this. But like I said, I don't understand why, a hoe like LeBron James, and that's exactly what he is. I said, I don't care how good, yes, he's a great athlete, one of the best top 5 players of all time, but I said, he's a hoe. He is. I'm sorry. I do not like him. I've never liked him. I don't like his face. I've never liked him since the time when he was 18 years old and I was 13. I said, I just do not like him. I said, I do not like his attitude. No. It has nothing to do with Michael. Yes, I love Michael, but I just said, I just don't understand why he is praised when you got warriors like David Goggins and Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, who could kill LeBron if they really wanted. And when they are, most people don't even know who they are, and that's what I feel sad, Honcho.
Yeah, I agree.
And hell, they call Allen West a coon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're black and conservative, or even moderate these days, you've automatically got a Coon card, or it's no longer a Coon card. It's the Coon chip now. The Coon chip has been activated, so it's apparently implanted right now. One thing, Alan West did tell a young black kid, because at a college lecture he was doing, I think it was over tactics or something like that. Honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with apolitical. I think it was apolitical. But this black kid said, "I think you're cooning, sir." And he said, well, I think it's better to be a coon off the plantation than to be woke and on the plantation. Yeah. And, he just kind of left it at that. But, all right, Honcho, hey, I'm going to hang up now, man. I've still got a long day tomorrow, but, hey, I'll listen to the rest later, man. Thank you for letting me speak my piece, brother. Already, I love it, man. I appreciate the call, sir. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, we're going to take a couple. We have some longer calls this evening. But there's a couple of videos I want to show you. I'm going to show y'all after this one. After we take this call, I'm going to show y'all the video I think we need to see. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, it's Rio Talk.
Rio Talk, what's the motherfucking deal, man? How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm doing all right. First and foremost, though, I want to get something off my chest.
Okay.
Corona has nothing to do with the Democrats trying to get Trump out of the office.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, does the Democrats control any other country in the world that shut down? Every big country in the world shut down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the Democrats cause that?
No, I wouldn't say they caused that.
Okay, then. So, let's get off the fact that Democrats shut down America to get Trump out of office through Corona. That was not the Democrats. No. That was Corona itself.
Okay.
You want proof of this? Hey, Honcho, Did I not send you an article saying that Austin had to report that since opening, they've seen a rise in corona?
Yeah, you said you did send an article. I checked it earlier.
So yes, this is still a thing. Does it upset me? Yes. Is it fucked up? Yes. But it's not one party or the other. Secondly, I don't care who's president. I really don't. No president is ever going to be removed from office through impeachment. It's fucking impossible. There's been, I want to say, 4 presidents has been impeached,
I think so.
including Trump.
Yeah, I think something like that.
And none have been removed. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because to remove a president, Congress has to have a large majority of the votes. Right now, that would mean that they would have to have 60 fucking votes in Congress to remove the man. So, that's never going to happen. I don't care if it's a Republican president or a Democratic president. You're never going to have that many votes. Because the parties are never going to go against their party. Let's just be honest. That's the way it works in our government.
Yes.
Your party doesn't go against your party. They don't care what you did. As long as you haven't straight up shot a man in the streets, they don't care. I mean, look what they try to impeach Bill Clinton on. Well, they did impeach him. Look what they try to remove him on. Having sex in the Oval Office and lying about it.
Yeah.
And who did that? The Republicans, right?
Yeah, you can't be in there sexing in the Oval Office. You're going to have the Oval Office in there smelling like Badissa. You don't want that. It's a national landmark.
And how dare you lie? Like the lie was the big ordeal that he lied about it.
Yeah, because you know when you get it in, especially when you get some new hype, you got to tell your homeboys about it. See, Bill was being stingy with the info. He ain't want to share the info with his homeboys. That's why they got mad, and that's why he got impeached. If he'd have just said something, man, you know, Monica got that fire head, man. Look, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna shoot you her number, you know, but don't tell her I put you on. He'd hooked up his fellow politicians. It wouldn't have been a problem. See, he was being stingy. And that's what caused that whole
deal. Come on now. He was with Monica Lewinsky. No one wanted that. The only reason why Bill Clinton wanted that is because Hillary wasn't giving him one, and he was probably high at the time. Let's all be honest.
I mean, hey, you know, I think she was just close enough in proximity that it's a situation where I think, you know, powerful men deal with those who were close to them when they're inconvenient. And so I think she just happened to be in a fortunate situation, I guess, if you want to call it fortunate. I don't know. Your name is,
I got you.
Your name is synonymous with blowjobs for the rest of eternity. I don't know how fortunate of a situation that was.
Hey, she got her 15 minutes of fame and got her money, so more power to her. It's just like the Trump's mistress. She got her 15 minutes of fame and her money. Let's just be honest. They got what they wanted. So my issue with people saying that this party or that party isn't the fact you vote for who you want. Trump, you'll never get me to say I like Trump. I hate the guy. Now, are there policies that he has put into place that I do agree with? Yes. But do I hate the guy on a more personal level? Yes.
Why do you hate Trump?
Why? Because he caused my dad to lose his Social Security check for 3 months. My dad, who's 80 fucking years old. Because he decided to change some shit in the policies. It caused my dad to lose his Social Security check for a while. We got it all fixed, but because of his policy changes, that shit happened. Also, I don't like him because of what he said about the what was it? The 4? The Central Park 4, or is it Central Park 5?
Central Park 5, yes. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I stopped liking him after that comment. Like, there are policies he has that I do agree with. Just like the Democrats have policies I agree with. Now, or do I... Will I tell you that I am more Democratic than I am Republican? Yes. But do I have policies on both sides that I agree with? Yes. And that's the problem. It's not that, like, my problem with America is not that you're this party or that you're that party. It's that we don't say, oh, people rather say, I'm Democrat, so no matter what the Republicans say, I'm against it. Or I'm a Republican, so no matter what the Democrats say, I'm against it. Instead of saying, you know, that's actually a decent idea on the other side. Let's talk about it.
The conversation is important. I think that's part of the problem, too. I think that we definitely need to have more conversation. Why do you think that people have gotten away from that? Because it's almost like now political parties are almost like gang affiliations. It seems like back in the day, people used to have more constructive conversation between them. There would be slight jabs and things, but people actually discussed issues and positions on policies and why. Now it's just kind of, that party's stupid, the motherfuckers are dumb, they fucking shit up, and that party says the same thing about the other side, and a bunch of stalemate shit happening.
You want me to be honest?
Yes, sir.
Social media. Because if there's not controversy, no one cares. So it doesn't get blown up. So you have to have controversy to keep your name in the spotlight. The same thing about the riot. I am against the riot. You know this. I've told you this multiple times. I'm completely against the riots. But what is the one thing the riots have done?
You got people talking about
Kept everybody talking about this shit. And it's actually caused multiple shit to happen this time around that's never happened before. Like a cop actually berating another cop in front of a protesters.
Yes.
I sent you that video. Remember that video?
Yes. I was just definitely saying.
Also, I'm going to send you another video about that. The cop that pushed that they got berated in front of the other protesters, that cop, the one that did the shit that caused him to get yelled at, got released.
Wow.
He got fired. The cop that shoved him and got into his face is actually up for promotion now.
Interesting.
So, shit's changing. Do I agree with why? No. But do I understand why? Yes. Because if it's not controversial or it's not violent, no one pays attention. Which is the fucked up thing about our society.
I agree. We are all very distracted. So yeah, and I will admit that it does have things happening, because I actually saw a situation where a cop kind of had their knee on another gentleman in the same fashion. The cop who was assisting the arrest, slapped him, like actually grabbed his leg and removed and readjusted it. So I mean, I'm just seeing little things that normally haven't. But it's just so much conflicting stuff. I think there's been a lot of photo ops. I think it's going to be important to see what really happens after, a week from now, after, Floyd is murdered here in Houston. What's really going to happen? What's going to be the long-term effect?
I couldn't tell you. I can tell you one thing. City of Houston, be prepared for this weekend. You know why, right?
Why is that?
The funeral is this weekend in Fifth Ward. You want to know how I know this?
What's that? How?
Because a coworker of mine was is a family member of George.
Mm.
And to anyone that's listening, you want proof that the media is so fucking fucked up in the world?
What's that?
She has to find black roads to get to her house, and then they have fucking drones flying over her land just to get photo ops of her.
Wow. That's crazy shit. That's what bothers the fuck out of me. Is there a law about shooting drones out of, I mean, but is there a law against like shooting drones out of the sky?
Yes, there is. You want to know why?
Why is it?
Because if you miss, that bullet's going to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why.
Yeah,
it's considered dangerous.
Fucking on my airspace.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still do it if it's over your land.
Okay.
But technically, if it's not flying over your land and it's just got a good camera, you can't do shit.
No. It's flying over the land. We're going to try to keep it as technical as we can.
So, and about your whole, have I ever heard the word coon? Because I know that's what this whole damn's supposed to be about. Remember I told you my dad's 80, right?
Yes.
he was born in 1940. My grandmother was born in 1919. And my grandfather was born in 1909. So when I say that I grew up with some old school Southern people, you understand what I mean by that.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, because of that, so yeah, I've heard the word coon a lot growing up. I'm not going to lie. I heard it a lot. It was to the point that my grandmother actually said that that's just what she was calling them because that's how she was raised. It wasn't that she was being racist. It was just that's all she knew.
I mean, if that's all you know, that's the only way you can go. But I think it has a different perspective, though. I think depending on that.
But see, let's talk about that. Think about this. Coon now is different than coon back then. You agree with that, right? The way they're using the word coon now.
Yeah, definitely in the conversation.
Completely different than how they used it back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But does it? But here's the truth. Does it really change the word? Just because you're trying to use it in a different way, does the impact of what you're trying to say about the person change?
No, and that's what I said. But I think it matters. I think, like I say, when blacks use it against other black people, it has a different meaning than when a white person. Depending, like the way that, say, your family or your grandma would use it compared to the way a black person uses it now against another black person would be two completely different meanings. So I think it just kind of depends on who's saying it.
And how they're saying it?
How they're saying it. Almost, but it's like, but I don't think there's ever like a good way to say coon, but I just think that there's two kind of different derogatory definitions depending on where it's coming from.
Which I can understand, but the part is it's still derogatory.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying to change how you're using the word, but you're not changing the underlying meaning that you're trying to belittle the person you're talking to.
Correct.
That's my thing. So, are you really changing the word?
No, I mean, it's
all you're doing is changing it. All you're doing is changing it who you're saying it to, but you're still trying to impact the person in somewhat the same fashion.
Yes, but I would agree with
Huh?
that. I would agree that yes, you are still belittling the person in the same fashion.
Anything else you'd like to ask me?
No, sir, not at the moment. I just have to think of a couple of things, but I was like, no, I don't necessarily have any additional things that would be relevant to the topic.
I mean, come on, ask me something. Come on, Joe, if you got something to ask me. You know me.
No. I'm gonna keep it because I think it's a couple of things. I'll just save them for tomorrow because I'm gonna do something a little bit different in the den tomorrow. You know, I'm thinking about something.
All right.
It's the more open conversation for tomorrow.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of goes along with your topic.
Okay.
That thing I sent you from that Kaepernick kind of posted and has been retweeted several fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
What type of impact do you see that happening on how people respond to the protest now?
I think
Since they actually think that they are being protected.
I still think it is kind of what it is. I don't think it necessarily going to change because I think people are going to feel the way they felt. You know, no matter what. I don't know. I mean, again, like I said, the whole everything rotated around the protest is just a real awkward thing. It's baffling to me. Matter of fact, they had one out here not that far from me today. And I did not go, but I was looking on those social medias. I was actually surprised that as many people showed up as they did. It was a real weird thing to see. But you know, I don't know, man. I think people have their minds made up. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, no matter what. I don't know if that changes too much of anything.
I agree with that. And the last thing I'm going to say before I get off here, everyone's trying to say that it's the white liberals or it's this party or that party infiltrating that's causing the riots. Right?
Yes.
So it's the Democrats doing these riots, right? That's what it's been put out, right?
Yes, that will liberal left. However, I know people have different definitions of how they like to associate things. I wouldn't say it would be the more moderate. I would say it'd be kind of the far left wing of the party.
It's the far left extremists.
Yes.
Let's put it where it is.
Yeah.
But is that any different than the far right extremists that show up with guns and do their protest?
Well, I think both, like of the edges, I guess you want to call it, the extremes of each party are delusional people, and I believe honestly that most normal everyday Americans are in the middle, closer to centrist, moderate, whatever you want to call it, than they are on those edges. But again, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. But if that squeaky wheel starts squeaking real loud by taking a lot of action that could be detrimental, then I think people are going to really start noticing and paying a lot of attention to that. But I definitely believe there's lunatics everywhere. I think on both sides. I think people who take too much political ideology in and kind of attach it to their lives in that fashion.
And then they use their political ideology to try to force their opinions / their beliefs on the others. I completely agree with this. I also believe, and I'm not saying it's happening, don't get me twisted, but I have seen it happen in other places. You know the fastest way to discredit something?
What's that?
Infiltrate it from the inside.
Yes.
So, if, let's say, these protests, which are being peaceful, but we need to discredit them. So let's just cause a riot and then blame this party. I'm not saying that Republicans are doing that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the possibility is there. Just like the possibility is that it is a bunch of crazy Democrats.
I think, again, I believe that the possibility is there. I think the possibility of the option for anything. You want to leave all options on the table. God damn it. No, the fuck it did not. It did not fucking happen again. It did not. There's no fucking way that happened again. Absolutely no fucking way. I'm believing that Rio Tiger's hanging up on me now. There's no way. There's no way. I know the phone randomly, like, hangs up on people. It has happened here. It has happened there. Doesn't always happen. But the fact that it's been like the last 3 times that Real Tiger's called is hung up, like every time. I think he's hanging up on me. I think that's what's going on. I think he's pranking me. He may be trolling me like I trolled D-Love yesterday. Because there's no way that this keeps happening. This is ridiculous. Like, I know this phone line be on some bullshit. But there's no way that happened. There's no way it's happened to Real Talk 3 times in a row. No, I refuse to believe it. I feel like I really feel like I'm pranking. I feel like I'm getting on the troll in here. So, you know. Then there was a couple of videos I want to show y'all, right? Give me just a second here. I got them pulled up. Because there's some things that have been going on. What time is it? Did we start? Did we start it? No, I was about 7 minutes late today. Did we start at 9? A little after 9. A couple of videos I want to show y'all real quick. Just one I thought was hilarious, and I wanted to enjoy it with all of y'all. I've been listening to it all day. No, actually, I'm not going to share that one. I'm actually share this other one. I'll play the other one. Actually, I shared in the thing. God damn it, where did I put it at? Oh, this one. This is the one I was talking about the other day, right? And this guy jumps out. I don't know what you call this device that he used, right? Because I've never seen one ever in my life. Let's do it like this so y'all can see it, right? All right, there we go. Oh, son of a bitch, you're not getting the sound on that bitch. So I cut it off.
What? What shit like that? Yeah, right.
What is this thing? What is this badass fucking thing that he has? Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Badass fucking weapon. Kill somebody.
Yo, call the police. Call the police.
Somebody call the police, too.
He's been waiting to use that shit for like a really long time. And he's finally like got the chance to fucking use it. He's like been waiting on this opportunity for at least 3 months now to get to jump out just to do this. Like, he don't really want to hit nobody up with that. He's just like look. I mean, 'cause you could have jugged up butter right there. He don't want to hit nobody with that. Man. He just wants to show it off. Like, let me explain something to you, right? Okay, let me cut this off. I don't know what that badass weapon is, right? I don't know what that device is, that amazing technology. I want one. I'm gonna make my own. But I'm gonna make one. But you put like cooking utensils on some, put like a spatula on one end and a big fucking plastic spoon on the other. And just being that bitch fucking just whipping it up, right? Just fucking the kitchen up. But no, that motherfucker don't want to do that for like. It looks like, I don't know, I'm assuming, he puts his hand in that thing, there's like maybe like a bar to grab, I'm hoping he doesn't have to strap it all up. Because if he did, he's a bad motherfucker. He strapped it up real quick and hopped out that car, right? And so, You know, I want one. I think it'd be great to have one of those motherfuckers. Like, yeah, oh that man, they said call the police. Like, two of them said call the police. That's the crazy shit about it. Like, y'all was throwing shit at his thing, and they gonna talk about call. Yeah, Lobster Claw. That's a great thing. Looking like, because I found that bitch looking like what was it? Dude Love, the Mankind, Cactus Jack. What else? He had like Mankind had like 4 or 5 names. But Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Nick Foley, you know, Mankind, and there's like another one. That's 4 of them. So Nick Foley, Cactus Jack, Mankind, and Dude Love. I want to say that there was another one. Oh, Sacco was the greatest. Like, but that mandible claw, that mandible motherfuckers, yeah, exactly. The mandible, we used to be putting the mandible on motherfuckers. You gotta be them, bit your fucking fingers off and shit. Niggas used to think them wrestling moves was legit. But yeah, so that fucking claw, right? That shit was crazy. I feel like there's one more too. But there's another video, and I don't think I solved it. I don't think I saved it. I'm sorry. I don't think I did. But there was one, like I talked about, the one where the women were washing the BLM off the side of a building. I think it was a federal building too. And a woman sitting there telling that they were using white privilege.
At this point, I've just given up on humanity. We're all on borrowed time. Have a great day.
Man, I feel like I agree, right? I feel like I agree. Shut up. Rachel liked the comment? Shut the hell up. Shut up. That's why I put that thing on there. Let's make it happen. Let's get Rachel Dolezal on the show. Oh, that would be the most entertaining thing that ever happened. That would be hilarious. Fucking, I hate Heidi. I fucking hate Heidi so much. Y'all don't understand. I really do. For reasons reasons that y'all just never know. It's terrible. Oh my God! Let me see what's going on here. 'Cause I don't even remember where the fucking comment was. But I fucking hate you, Heidi. But the thing about it, right, is it's just that's fucking hilarious. She really did fucking like the fucking tweet. That is hilarious. I mean, not to tweet, the fucking comment. I fucking hate you. I hate you so much. I really fucking do. But yeah, the BLM thing, and then there was one more video that took place. Oh, I want to talk on. And I mean, shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to Bilderberg, bro. I don't know if you're in here or not. Send me a lot of good stuff. Definitely check it out. I've checked out a few things you sent me. I gotta catch up on a couple of the other ones. I've been talking about a den movie night for a long time. Would y'all be interested in watching some documentaries, maybe for Discord den movie night? And maybe we can have maybe some more controversial type documentaries, and maybe we can have a discussion about those. Yeah, she liked it. Like, Rachel Dolezal liked Heidi's comment under the Coon post on fucking tonight's post on Instagram. That's hilarious. So she definitely did that. But here's my thing, right? Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. Oh, the deranged one? Okay, that's the one I fucking forgot about. That because he was Mankind was a beast, dog. Like you had to like fuck with Mankind. Like you had to fuck with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't, then you was definitely bullshitting yourself. One of them characters that he played, you had to like, man. Oh man. Okay. All right, what it is. Okay. Ranking the Four Faces of Mick Foley. Bet. I'm finna check this out. But yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about, I'm gonna get kind of serious for a second. I know I told you I want to make the den great again, because you know you can laugh at everything, even things you probably shouldn't be laughing at. You got Nick Foley, Mankind, It said Nick dude loving khaki jacket for none more deranged than mankind. But I watched the video last night, right? And it really is interesting, and it's a topic I want to get into soon, but not like right this moment. But let's do it. Then what happens is you get a bunch of bad press for the Den on a famous level, but then people come in there like, hey, it's actually not that bad. All press is good press. I like the way you think, Heidi. But my thing is this, right? So I watched the video. Then I'm gonna fuck his name up. But the one that John mentioned yesterday, Tempa. And I watched the whole video, right? And my God, it was fucked up because Tony Tempa. That's right. I wanted to say Tommy for some reason. Tony Tempa, and it was a very similar situation. It happened up in Dallas. Very similar situation to what happened to George Floyd, except Tempa. Oh my God! No, so I had to hold everything. Oh my goodness! So, what's going on, Miss Grace? Where OG Keith at? No, don't miss a shot. But here's my thing, right? Appreciate it. Thank you, prepaid. But I watched the Tony, and it was fucked up, man. It was just as bad as the George Floyd video, and to have all the audio because it was on the body cam, and they're cracking jokes. Oh, hey, wake up! It's time for school. Mom made breakfast, and all just like little crazy stuff. And they picked him up, put him on stretcher. He's limp. He's dead at that point, and they're just gonna go. Oh, I hope he ain't dead. Is he breathing? And just it's some crazy shit. And then it's like the EMT or whatever in the thing, like, well, he's dead. And it's like, I hope y'all know CPR. Or, it's like, come on, man. It's like he's just annoyed, like it's almost a thing. So, and I'm well aware that certain cases are not going to get that push because that narrative doesn't fit what the people need. But I think if you want the cops to stop, I think let me fix it because I don't know what's going to happen. Like it's just such a weird time right now. All of the attention and everything, and I do feel like the police probably feel as though America is turning on them. You got a lot of crazy shit going on. I mean, and it's coming. It's like it's chaos. But I think what you have to look at is if you changed it from a problem of racism to a problem of it being, I guess you would say, a police state or statism, but then you'd have to get more people to try to buy into that idea probably. And if you have a segment of people who feel like, well, the cops are doing just fine, they're not messing with me, then it'd probably be harder to sell that idea. But when you try to sell it from the angle of racism as something different, I don't know if it makes it a harder sell. I don't know if you still got those same people who don't feel any particular way about it going to still feel the same way. I don't know if it really changed or not, but I just know that with everything that's happening now, there's definitely some changes taking place, and I don't understand. I don't know where it goes when it all finishes up. But here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal. I'm going to get ready to wind it down and slide into the Discord. Y'all know some real great conversations have been taking place in the Discord lately, and I just want to say shout out to all of y'all who are active participants in the voice chat in the Discord, or if you just listen to the voice chat and comment via in the text chat. Just everybody who just comes, to the Den Discord, after the stream, before the stream, during the day, and just chop it up, man. It's a beautiful thing because I feel like I really genuinely feel like some life-changing conversations.
Honcho, you a bogus ass nigga, man.
What? I guess y'all can see I'm already in the Discord. But you know, my thing is that you gotta be a part of that if you want to be a part of the whole den experience, because I think a lot of that is where that takes place. So, with that being said, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, Den Show Live. What else? Every other link you need, descriptions are in the chat. And that's about that. So, I have no videos making fun of it. I have videos making love to Rachel. So, but with that being said, man, make sure y'all in the Discord. I'm going to put the link in here right now so y'all can be a part of the conversation. And, you know, like I said, I'll catch y'all in there right after the stream. Tentative, very tentative, okay? Now, I'm thinking we may double den tomorrow, since I think I missed, was it Tuesday I missed? So I still have, like, I did all my topics for this week. So I may have that extra topic and use it tomorrow. So like I said, I'm thinking if it is, it'll be like noonish, maybe 1 p.m. Central Time, noonish, and I'm thinking maybe if we double did, maybe noonish and nighttime is probably how we rock with that. That's what I'm thinking here. So, but I'll let y'all know. So stay tuned. So make sure you follow on the proper social media so y'all know, you know, if it's a double did or not. That's basically what it is. No, Misty, you don't have time to call in. What do you see, Misty? You've been hanging out with Lady Licious, and now you see all the white people getting on CPT and want to get in all late and stuff. So yeah, but but I hope you're doing well, Miss Misty. It's good to see you. But yeah, be in the Discord, catch y'all there. I'm Chugging Up a Deuce, man. I appreciate y'all, and let's we'll talk some shit about this further in the Discord if you want to be there. But y'all are the most wonderful people. You guys, again, like I say, it is an honor. It is a privilege and it's a pleasure, but I thank y'all for allowing me the privilege. Like, because without y'all, like I said, there's no privilege, there's no none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my God, the greatest song. Have y'all heard that You About to Lose Your Job fucking thing? I posted it in the Discord, but I've been listening to that shit for like 3 days. That shit is it's like the anthem of 2020. That shit is jamming. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. Fuck it, I'm gone, man. Let me get up out of here, man. I fucks with y'all, man. So. Oh man, I'm gone. I don't even know what the fucking button. I gotta start getting more fucking sleep. I don't even know what the fucking thing. All right. Adios, amigos. Y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm out tomorrow.